Okay, come on. Let's go. God, I gotta get out. It hurts. It's not reconnecting, Ella. It's not working. It's not working, Ella. Is it okay that you don't have this? Or do you have to have it? Because I can't give you my phone. Because if I give you my phone, all y'all do is just create a fraud. Here, you gonna go in Ella's room? Yeah. Okay. Come on here. What do you want to watch? Oh! All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Austin Jordan, the 4-star defensive back from Denton, Ryan, Texas, commits to the good teams, horns up, hooks him up. He decides to be with Texas Longhorns today as the good news finally comes down the rail. We thought he was going to be in Oklahoma sooner. The Ohio State Buckeyes, they were filled up, but the young man from Denton, Ryan, staying home in Austin, committing to the good, staying at the 40, horns up to the good. His host was his former teammate, former classmate over there in Denton, Ryan. As AJ Austin Jordan, as you can see by the Hayes Fawcett there, edit there, stays home, put the edit up on his Twitter today and decided that he is going to stay home on the 40. Is he a safety? Is he a cornerback? I'm not quite sure. I think he might spend some time in that nickel slot area as well, as he plays really great in short spaces, side to sideline lateral movements. In short spaces is where he does do very, very well. Can play all-around game, a good all-around cornerback, defensive back, but he is viewed as a safety position by most. 247 Sports actually does have him rated as a safety. But let's talk about the young man as he is a commit to the Texas Longhorns. This is going to mark the, let's see, what number exactly of commits we are up to here. I believe Austin Jordan is going to make the 12th. Oh. So he's going to make the 15th commit in the class of 2022. He is going to add to fellow defensive back Jalen Gilbo, as well as Brian Allen Jr. as another safety that is coming in the 2022 class, as currently Texas is Big 12 ranked number 1, nationally ranked number 5, as the young man is the 15th hard commit today. He did announce last night that today, 1 p.m., that he would have some news. I personally thought it might be some sort of announcing of a bowl game, some sort of an all-star game of some sort of Senior Bowl all-star game that would finish up the end of the season. But boom! The young man, Austin Jordan, the highly ranked 4-star commit, just in the top 200, commits to the Texas Longhorns today. A lot of echo. Oh, a lot of echo. I know what that means. No, that shouldn't be echo. Is it in? All right. Is the echo gone? Let's see. Does that fix the echo? Did that fix it? Did that fix it? Please tell me that fixed it, because that's really the one thing that I do know how to do. All right, I'm just gonna go along with that, just to go ahead and fix it, unless I still sounds echo. Oh no. All right. Well, that just might be it today. I don't know why it sounds reverby. Man, I guess I can try taking this out. All right. What about that? All right. What about now? All right. So Austin Jordan, the cornerback from Denton, Ryan, Texas. Did that sound good, or is that still reverby? Because I can. Or now you probably cannot hear me at all. All right. All right, so can you hear me better now? Is that better? So no, this is not better.
All right, well, we're just going to have to go with it reverby. All right.
Well, we just might have to go with it reverby. I'm sorry about that. But anyways, what was the question? Let's see, I won't go look at myself normal. This looks weird as hell. It's weird as fuck. Okay, what about now? Does it, I know it probably still sounds like it reverberate. Can you at least understand what I am talking about? Because I can't know exactly what the deal is, don't know exactly what is exactly going wrong. I very much do apologize about that. But I do just wanted to get on the on the web today. Just did want to get on YouTube just to see exactly what was going on, just to know exactly what was going on with you guys, to see what everybody was excited about. Because me personally, defensive backs is going to be a big, giant need in the class of 2022. Offensive linemen, wide receivers, and defensive backs is probably going to be our biggest fills. As you know, we are filled up in quarterback position. Malik Murphy, we're going to have just one scholarship take in the class of 2022. We're just going to have 2 running backs. We are definitely done after Javarius Jones and having Jaden Blue, both Miller coming into the fold. Without a doubt, it is just not. We're definitely filled up in the running back position. We probably have 2 more positions as far as linebacking position. I'm looking for Jeremy Patton possibly to possibly make a commitment, and we are possibly holding out for either Jeremy Cheeks. And of course, we are definitely holding out for Harold Perkins. But Harold Perkins is going to hopefully play. We're pitching him in the star position, in the star role. Going to be a defensive back hybrid player. Going to be a really versatile player. Look to play in the defensive back role as well as fill up in the defensive linebacking position as well. But Austin Jordan, we definitely need the defensive backs. Definitely need the players coming out of the defensive backfold. What are your thoughts? What are your prayers about this player, guys? I do know that we are talking about guys that did come out of Denton Ryan. Billy Bowman, of course, did pack it up, and decide to go to OU. Billy Bowman was actually going to be the person that was going to be on his recruitment whenever Austin Jordan was, in fact, in Norman during his recruitment, as well as, of course, Jatavion Sanders, his teammate, another teammate from Denton Ryan. That's most definitely why it's important to get that Denton Ryan pipeline to come down the pipe. That's one. It's definitely important to get these players from these top-rated programs out of the DFW area, without a doubt, 100%. As we do need these guys coming out of these top programs. Talking about Duncanville, obviously prime-time playmakers coming from Duncanville. Obviously going to be talking about South Lake Carroll, the receivers, Quinn Ears. We've had a little Jordan Humphrey come from there. Another offensive lineman coming down the pike, also going to be on the 40, looking to come into the mix. And Kerchek, also going to be a 4-star lineman.
I need help fixing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was this one.
You know what I mean? So it's definitely important to get these players from these top programs. Without a doubt, was talking about Duncanville from the Houston area, North Shore, get that rolling. I believe it's our defensive line coach has the connection down there in Bo Davis. These top programs, these players, these top schools definitely need to get involved in with these top programs from the great state of Texas. As he did allude to, Austin Jordan said that he is in fact staying home. So yes, we can understand you. I have seen film before. you have to give him our film big evaluations talking about the big Hulk. His I like exactly what I did see on film. I do like the fact that I do view him as a versatile player. He did play cornerback. He has played safety, but with his body style, with his body's frame, let's just say, and his quickness to play inside the short areas, quick lateral movements, I think he's good in that slot slash nickel corner area kind of sort of position that Texas Longhorns need, man. Because look, you need 4, 5 defensive backs on the field at us sometimes, playing in the other type of ball that we play within the Big 12. All gas, no brakes. Definitely high-flowering, high-powered offenses with these great quarterbacks coming back for their junior and senior campaigns. Brock Purdy comes to mind, without a doubt. Spencer Rattler comes to mind. The Oklahoma Sooners always going to play pitch and catch, always going to have a great scheme, always going to have the ability to get their players open. So you need these bodies coming in and out, rotating in and out, and you need different types of versatile bodies rotating in and out. And this young man, AJ Austin Jordan, might be another one for us as well. True, DB really can cover safety, ground at safety. Really what I'm looking for, and I'm pretty sure most everybody who watched a lot of plays and lack thereof from our defensive backs this past year, and that's going to be actually making a play on the ball. It seems, when I've talked about this over and over and again, it seems that it comes down to it. Last year, whenever the wide receiver and the defensive back, when it came time to make a play on the ball, looks like their player was raising their hands up to make a play on the ball, and our defensive backs, our defensive players weren't turning their heads, weren't putting their hands up, or just more interested in tackling the man, even though they were in great position sometimes. The Shark, Jameson, had the great one-handed leaping interception. I believe it was his sophomore year, a few years ago. And I want to see more plays like that. I want to see more instinctual plays. I want to see guys more playing with their ball skills instead of thinking about where they should be and just ultimately getting the man down to the ground instead of ultimately getting the ball out of the air and ripping it out of the air, taking it out of the man's hands. So ultimately making a play on the ball before the man has the ball in his hands rather than working on it afterwards. Because in addition to making bad plays or any play at all on the ball, we did see lots of PIs, lots of pass interferences, lots of holds coming from our defensive backs in general, as well as the overall play from the defensive backs could improve without a doubt as well. So something else to look forward to. Talking about Austin Jordan, maybe he could bring that to the fold as well, because whenever you are talking about the Denton Ryan cornerbacks, you are talking about the Denton Ryan defensive backs, they are well coached. That is one thing that you can definitely say about what they got going on at Denton Ryan, is that they do win titles there, they do win championships, they win lots of games. They win lots of games by having great athletes, but man, they coach them up having those great athletes as well. And one of the positions they do coach them out with is pretty much every defensive side of the ball position on the defensive side of the ball. If you look at it, linebacker, traditionally been throwing out big-time major recruits. They have Tony Hill, the #1 defensive player on the board on the class of 2022. He has been a linebacker project, now playing a defensive lineman. Just an absolute monster. Just an absolute monster coming up in the defensive line. So we need that pipeline, need that communication. We would love to have that communication come into the fold, coming out of these major programs, and no doubt about it, make no doubt about it, that Denton Ryan is without a doubt one of them as well. Big Hope said the best class was Diggs group with Duke, Thomas, and Vaccaro. Man, that was without a doubt big time prospects, big time class for Texas. We landed 3 in Foster, Stearns, and the big man DeMarvion Overshawn just this past year. In 2019. So without a doubt, that was a major class. We backed it up what we thought in 3 years ago when we landed 2 5-stars and another 3-star, but we got another 4-star, getting the #1, the #2, and the #3 rated safeties in that class. So without a doubt, we've had some talent coming into the defensive back out of the great state of Texas, because the athletes that we do produce, we produce many quarterbacks coming out of the great state of Texas. As you know, 7-on-7 is big here in the state of Texas. Football in general is big. Ultimately, why the book and series Friday Night Lights came out was talked about Texas football. But in addition to the quarterback position, and in addition to obviously the skill position being the wide receiver position, you need somebody to defend all those people. You need somebody to defend all those skill positions and all those fast players breaking in and out of their routes. And the defensive backs coming out of the great state of Texas traditionally has been another big time need as well. Has been another big time concern as well for other programs. But we need to lock it down. We need to lock down these primetime players. Really, whenever I look at this day in and day out, since I've started looking at recruiting, the state to me that locks it down the best, that holds their players to one program the best, without a doubt, 100% is going to be LSU. LSU, the Bengal Tigers, the Bayou Tigers from Baton Rouge there, man. They absolutely hold down the fort. They protect. Oh, sweet. So the reverb is absolutely gone. Oh, sweet. Yeah. So it is nice to get one of the OU guys instead of them getting one of our guys. Without a doubt, that is one thing that is definitely important to us, without a doubt, is we can start plucking some of the great players out of the great other states rather than coming in and raiding our state. But back to what I was saying, and what are your thoughts about this? LSU, Louisiana, they hold down their great state as far as the major programs. Not many recruits leave the Buckeye State, and not many get out of Ohio, but they're not also producing them at the rate that Louisiana is as well. So as far as holding it down, you gotta show a lot of respect to LSU. You gotta show a lot of respect to what Ed Ogeron, but not really about what he's been doing, but traditionally, without a doubt, they have held it down with the recruits and keeping the top recruits in their state, in-state. So I was going to do a little video. I was going to make a video today about the O-line big board today. That was what I was going to do. If y'all want to hear me talk about that, as we did have Connor Robertson commit to University of Texas, big time commit. But my estimation is there, because what we need on the offensive line is we need tackle bodies now. We have lots of guard commits. We do have two people that can play on the interior. Connor Robertson, me personally, I think he can play any position on the offensive line, all 5 positions. I do believe his body size, his body style, his body type, bodes a little bit better on the interior. I see him a little better left or right guard. I would love to see Mr. Cole Hudson just absolutely bury people there at that center position. I do believe that is where he transludes to the best, or that's where I do see him eventually going, and that is going to be to offensive center. So he's going to have the smarts. Both these guys have the smarts, without a doubt. Connor Robertson, one of the number 1 and number 2 schools that was looking at him was going to be Stanford. And man, once they start coming from the tight end position and that offensive tackle position, getting offensive tackle recruits and getting tight end recruits, getting them out of Palo Alto is sometimes very difficult to do, and especially those are the ones who are thinking about very much educationally inclined as well, and that business school was definitely calling Connor Robertson's name, as well as Cole Hudson. I do believe that was going to be the 2 things that did push us over the top. I do believe that was going to be the 2 things that gave the University of Texas the edge in their recruitments, and that was going to be, the fact that Texas does offer great education as well as offering great athletics. If you guys are just into the live stream, please get a thumbs up, guys. Please get a thumbs up to light stream. I just do only have 6 likes of this. If you guys could push a like on this, I would very much appreciate it. And if you're coming in and out of this live stream at any point in time, if you could please possibly just give me a subscription to this channel if you have not and done so already, as I do try to produce college football content a couple times a week for you guys. I am a busy guy. I do have 3 kids, a wife, and a life, as I do like to say. I do have a lot of things going on. But with that being said, let's dive back into it. Let's get back going into it. As talking about recruiting, let's talk about the offensive line big board is going to be one of the things that I was looking into doing. Was going to be one of the things that I was looking at right now. And coming into it, looking at it right now, a couple of the players that I do have at the offensive guard position. Of course, we do know who the number one offensive guard is. It is going to be. Hold. Let's see what the Speedy German is going to say. So I noticed an OU player has a Nike shoe endorsement. Does this cause to equipment to rethink their equipment supplier? See, that's going to be one of the things that I was thinking about when I'm talking about the NIL, talking about what they have going on, and especially what's been going on as far as the University of Oregon with the Ducks quack quack have been doing. Been making a lot of quacks up there recently. Been making lots of noise coming out of Eugene. I don't know exactly, because there does have to be some sort of push. There does have to be some sort of rub. Is that Nike is always going to be the hub is always going to be Oregon, right? Eugene is always going to be the hub for Nike. That is where their originator came from. That is where the person who made and discovered the Nike brand is from. So that 100% makes sense, right? That is where his bread will always be buttered. That is where he came from. That makes sense. Good, great. But what doesn't make sense is on these Texas Longhorn jerseys, you're going to notice that same Nike emblem. On other universities' jerseys, you're going to notice that same Nike emblem. Other universities, other colleges, other campuses are repping that same kind of sort of Nike deals, same sort of Nike gear. Are they going to get? Are they going to get that same kind of sort of Nike deal if they go to Eugene as if they go to Austin? Are they going to get that same Nike deal at the University of Nebraska or whoever else has that same Nike deal? Are they going to get that? Because really, if they don't, which I don't think they'll ultimately will, I really think that's going to hack off a lot of programs. I really think that's going to hack a lot of people off. And I do think that is going to really rub people along the wrong way is really what I am going to say. I don't know as far as business, what is right and wrong. I do know that's ethically wrong or ethically not right in doing so. But as far as legally right and what is legally wrong, man, I don't know exactly what is and is all about that to be 100% with you on that. So I do not know exactly the legalities of it, but I do see some schools dropping Nike after this. Potentially, if they're signing these big time major recruits because they are that Nike brand and they're pitching NIL Nike contracts to them once they sign and once they get to the campus on Eugene, once they decide to go quack quack, that is whenever I see some of the other major programs starting to fold down the Nike emblem and starting to get rid of those contracts. And whenever those contracts are ended up, I don't know if they will be renewed and reviewed. One thing that I was thinking about is if with this NIL stuff, all this branding, all this major branding, Adidas, Nike, Under Armour, whatever have you, what's to become of one of these smaller programs? What's to become of one of these smaller companies blowing up, like such as hats? Last Stand Hats comes to mind when it comes to the University of Texas. They've made lots of pub. They've made lots of headway with the NIL as of recently. I do know that DeMarvion Overshawn is one that comes into play. He definitely has an NIL one with them. Instead of going Nike, why not blow up that one company and make a big time market deal with them? If we're not getting that rep, if we're not getting that pub from Nike, if we're not going to get those Nike deals for our major recruits, why not start fresh? Why not start with a smaller, lower end company such as Last Stand Hats? Just using them for example, not necessarily putting Last Stand hats out there, but just an example is they are an up and coming company, that is linked up with the University of Texas brand, and players, and I do believe that those two things could possibly work well with one another without a doubt. But the Speedy German here has a question for me. Speedy German says, Green has been here and is visiting again in the future. Abgo has Texas on his list but has yet to visit. What are Texas chances with these? With me personally, let me
get this. Personally, I think both are a bit of long shots. I do know the fact that you are right that a Green has already been on campus. He plans on being on campus again. We did in fact make his top 10. Let me get out my list there. We did in fact make his top 10. But I don't think we lead it at all for Mr. Ernest Green. I don't believe we lead it all for him. And I do believe the other fella made his top 5 and took us off of it, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, let's see. We got the University of Texas. Yeah, so Malik, he in fact, we are out of the recruiting with Malik, Mr. AGBO. We're out on him. I believe he made his top 5, and and left the University of Texas out of it. I do believe we weren't really in on the final cut for him, as he did move on and he did make his final cut to. And he did leave the University of Texas out of it. So that is one thing why Ernest Green does become more important by my estimation, as he does play in a major program out there in California. He does play for an absolute mammoth program out there for St. John Bosco out there in Bellflower, California, out there in California. He does play right tackle, and he's just not playing right tackle to fill in a spot, man. He is playing right tackle because he is dominant at that position, and he is dominant at that position at the edge. And some schools are recruiting him as a tackle. He is listed on the offensive line as an interior offensive lineman body for the University of Texas when I'm looking at the 247 Sports, but he is someone that can definitely play either right tackle or left or right guard, without a doubt. I would love to see him as a right guard paired up next to Devon Campbell there. But as far as an absolute interior body, he doesn't absolutely have to be. Ernest Green probably eventually down the line would bode better 100% as an interior guy, but he definitely can be recruited, definitely can play on that outside edge, on that right edge, at that right tackle position. But that is one thing that does make 100% the recruitment of offensive linemen way more important and way more interesting, and we just cannot walk this fine line. We just can't walk the same line that we walked last year, and just expect these guys to get here. Just expect Ernest Green to come here. Expect Devon Campbell just to sign, because the big man, Banks, he packed it up, decided to go quack, the 5-star commit. People thought he was going to come down to either the Ohio State, either Oklahoma or Texas, or Texas A&M, and in fact, it came down to Texas A&M and the University of Oregon, and Texas wasn't even in on it at all. So gone is Herb Hand. We do have Coach Kyle Flood most definitely making a better effort, putting in a better effort for us. But without a doubt, we do need these big bodies, and until we can recruit and land, develop, and have them drafted as far as these big 5-star major players, they will not come. We need to pick it up and pack it up and improve our play on the field, prove it on the field for some of these 5-star linemen. That is why Devon Campbell is going to be the number 1 overall important person by position by my estimation. Working man, you collect hats, bro? Seriously, are you serious? Just right next to me, I got this guy right here, Hook'em Horns, right here. I do get this hat right over here. This right here was the Father's Day collection edition here of the Texas Rangers. As you can see, it is a bit blue right here. I do have my Dallas Cowboys hats right here. What are they next to me right here? You got to go with the Mavs, man. Luka, just this past year, definitely going to have to do some big ups. Lost to the Clip Show in the first round. Whatever else do I have coming at me right now? I'm not much of a hunter. I'm not much of Mr. Camo guy, but I also do have this hat as well. And as most of my hats, man, I do like the to be fitted. Not much of a snapback guy. I'm a flat bill, kind of sort of 50-50 style, as it is kind of sort of called in the hat world. But yeah, man, without a doubt, I'm a hat guy. So without a doubt, working man. So if you like hats, you should definitely watch the show. If anybody else is new to the program, please like this video. Please like this stream and subscribe to the channel, as I do have 1,035 subscribers, something like that. I am getting close to getting my program monetized. I am very close. I did just have a couple of setbacks, just working through that, and I'm just trying to pound it out these next couple of weeks, just so I can get some minutes up. So I did have to take down pretty much all of my videos and restart over with my minutes, which was awesome. But anyways, you don't want to talk about me. Let's talk about football. But working man, if you like hats, if you like the show, if you not yet subscribed, please do. The Speedy German says Kevin Coleman has not visited yet, but Texas is in on his list. Yep, without a doubt. But how big is that list? I don't think it's as small as a top 5. But without a doubt, we would love to have that playmaking receiver from St. Louis, I believe, out. But I was going to do some. Do we get Bryce and Denver? The thing with the Bryce Anderson recruitment is it is coming down to Texas and Texas A&M. It is coming down to the Longhorns and the Aggies. It is an old-fashioned in-state battle, bloodbath rivalry when it does come down to Bryce Anderson, the safety prospect. The in-state safety prospect, the 4-star recruit. He only does mainly play quarterback out there for his high school team, but he is being recruited as a 4-star high 4-star safety. But to quit beating around the bush, I do not like the fact that Bryce has his recruitment has gone out for so long. I do not like the fact that his recruitment has gone on for so long. Anytime that whenever you are a big favorite, an early favorite that Texas has, and it lingers on, and that momentum starts to sway, and anytime that it does start to go one way, whenever you are the heavy favorite just like that, man, I don't believe we are the favorite. I do believe that Bryce will end up gigging them with the Aggies, as much as I do hate to say that. And I do maybe feel that maybe today's commitment by Austin Jordan is a bit of an indication by that, as we do already have one safety commit in Brian Allen Jr. already in the fold in the class of 2022. So the fact that Austin Jordan is another versatile defensive back who is viewed as a safety by most, he is looking up to play in that defensive backfield. Maybe that is some sort of an indicator that we are maybe possibly not the leader on Bryce, and maybe that Bryce is going to commit to the Aggies. But if you were going to ask me right now, recruiting gun to my head, is he an Aggie or is he an Horn? I'm definitely going to have to say Aggie when it does come to Bryce. I do believe both of them are going to go to the Longhorns and the Aggies, whatever they're having on the 30th and the 31st, as far as that late barbecue, pool bash, whatever else they're going to have. They have Bryce playing nickel, not safety. Yeah, but it is kind of sort of the same kind of sort of position. When everybody in PK's defensive backfield, let's not forget about this, folks. Let's not forget about this, Longhorns fans. Is if and I've said this numerous times, is he wants them all to be diverse. I believe whenever he was the not head coach, whenever he was the defensive coordinator up there at UW, up there at Washington, they were all just labeled as the defensive backs. He likes them all to be versatile. He likes them all to have the speed to turn and open up the hips, to run and gun and go, play on the outside, to play in space, to make plays on the ball, but and also be able to make tackles and make their and man up their position, man up their man is really what I am going to try to work the verbiage in there. One thing that I do like about defensive players at all positions, when it does come to Coach PK and Coach PK's defense, is that it is exciting, it is versatile, and it is attacking. And those are some things that it is exciting for young kids, for defensive prospects. And it should be, right? No one wants to go in there and run the same crap that they ran in high school. No one wants to run that same base 3-4, that same base 4-3. sub in a linebacker, sub in another defensive back for on a third down for passing downs. That's bland. That's boring. No one just likes running that same old crap. They like to hear that new star position that Harold Perkins is being pitched on. They like to hear about that new star position. That versatile position even sounds good. Ooh, it's a star. It even sounds exciting, right? It even sounds like something that kids would want to be interesting, because that's what they're pitching Harold Perkins at. And whenever I was reading about Harold Perkins, is that we were the only one pitching him as a safety type position, as well, a safety linebacking position, that star versatile safety back playing position. So when it comes to pitching these guys, it's all about how you sell it, man. It's all about how you sell it. So the buzzer just rang, got her back to work. Thanks a lot for working, man. Thanks a lot for coming in, man. Without a doubt, I hope that did, in fact, help you out. But what I do have to say. So let's talk about the offensive line big board. If you want to, let's go ahead and talk about this. If you are talking about the offensive line, you've got to be talking about the OGs, the original gangsters coming up front. And without a doubt, my number one recruit has been this way all throughout let's go ahead and take this down. All throughout this whole entire recruiting process, my number one guy on the board has stayed the same, without a doubt. Full screen. Has been Devon Campbell. DJ Campbell, the wrecking ball coming out of Arlington, Bowie, Texas. 6'3", right around 310, 315 pounds, as he is going to be looked at more of an interior offensive line prospect, as he is looking to be the left guard for the University of Texas. By my what everybody thinks about, he is going to be an offensive guard. But like I did say, he is the most important recruit in my opinion. He's an absolute mauler at his position, an absolute mauler at the offensive guard. He pulls like no other. When a business decision was made about offensive guards, whenever they're coming down the pike, whenever they're coming down to absolutely bury the smaller defenders, whenever they come to bury the defensive back, whenever guys like Austin Jordan come up to pick up that block, they just sometimes pick it up and pack it up and make that business decision like Deion did like he said to do back in the day. So whenever you think of DJ Campbell, so what I'm thinking of, I'm a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan. I grew up a Dallas Cowboys fan. My favorite player of all time is going to be an offensive lineman. Me personally, I believe the best player to play football is an offensive lineman. So whenever you think of DJ Campbell, personally, what I think who he might have looked like when he was in high school is going to be Larry Allen. Personally, I think Larry Allen is the greatest football player of all time, regardless of position, based on how dominant he was. And basically, whenever he was on the ball playing offensive guard, he buried that son of a bitch that he was lined up across from every single time. So when you think of DJ Campbell, think Larry Allen. Think about Larry Allen in high school. And one of the major factors and one of the reasons why he is important to land is that DJ Campbell, in fact, has been a lean for Texas for quite some time. Ever since before I started this show over a year ago, that crystal ball was already on the Texas Longhorns. The hook 'em up horn was already next to his name. It was already next to the name of DJ Campbell coming out of Arlington, Bowie. So the fact that Texas has only had 4 5-star offensive linemen ever in the history of the University of Texas, ever since they started making the 4 and 5 star program, the 4 and 5 star rating of recruits. I believe it started in 1999 or 2000, 2001, right around there, right around 20 years ago. Texas has only had 4 5-star offensive linemen. So one of the things that Texas needs to prove to itself, that needs to prove to other prospects, and needs to prove to other colleges and other college campuses, that Texas needs to prove it can recruit, land, and develop 5-star offensive linemen. And this right here should start with DJ Campbell. DJ Campbell went on an unofficial visit back in July, getting to know the staff, took some photos, yada, yada, yada. But it was very much important to go ahead and get an introduction to the staff instead of just go ahead and just doing Zoom calls and stuff like that. something very important about DJ Campbell. July 9th, he did put out a top 5. He did put out a top 5 saying that Texas, Bama, USC, the University of Oklahoma, and of course the Louisiana are going to be the top 5 still remaining for his recruitment. But now the other OG, the other original gangster, the more versatile of the two offensive guard prospects is going to be Ernest Green. He does in fact play tackle right now in St. Bon Josco in high school. He does project more favorably to guard, but he does play tackle for St. John Bosco, so do keep that in mind. St. John Bosco is a major program out there in California, so he is absolutely grinding out with some studs day in and day out. So it's not the fact that he is playing out of position. He's playing tackle out of position. He's playing tackles. He's probably the best tackle that they have out there for St. John's Bosco. So the fact that he is starting out there in that position, in a coveted position for a major program, bodes well for me. But with the need for offensive tackles, bodies, and with Green's versatility is huge for the University of Texas. Whenever Ernest Green was on campus in early July as well, he did the same kind of sort of thing that DJ Campbell as well. Got to meet the coaches, got to meet the staff, and take some visits, and I got to be on the 40 acres as well. But this versatility, talking about Ernest Green, is what separates him a little bit more. Not quite as versatile as Connor Robertson, as he can't quite play all 5 offensive line positions. He can't quite play all 5 of them, but without a doubt, he can play some right tackle while in college. I do view him more as a more of a left guard or right guard prospect down the line once he does get his junior and senior year on and possibly on into the NFL. But without a doubt, can he make major moves? Can he start at Texas and for many college campuses across the nation at tackle? 100%. So as far as offensive guards, that is what I got for you guys. Outside of those two, man, that is it. 2 commits already. We already have Cole Hudson, the 4-star commit, as well. We already have Connor Robertson, the 3-star versatile offensive guard, interior lineman, can swing it out, play a little bit of tackle for as well. Coming out of a major program himself, back-to-back state titles for the greatest, for the biggest title in all of Texas, the 6'1" position. Talking about Connor Robertson, so he plays offensive line for the Chaparrals of Westlake, Austin Westlake, a major program for as well. Without a doubt, making an impact in high school for a major program. Oh man, why is any literate recruit even considering ASU? Man, with all that major stuff that they do have coming down the pike, and that is something else that we do have. Also, something else that could quite be interesting as well that you want to consider as far as another defensive back prospect, and that's going to be LTG, Larry Turner Gooden. Man, I love that guy. As far as an ASU recruit who did say once he did commit to ASU, the Sun Devils, that he was going to in fact go on some more. He was going to go on some more visits. He did, in fact, visit the 40 acres, and I love that. And he is listed as an athlete prospect, but he does look to play in the defensive backfield as a safety as well. Love me some Larry Turner Gooden, and would love to have him on the 40 as well. Without a doubt, Speedy German always coming in with the info. Yeah, CJ Williams is a Notre Dame lean. I am going to have to agree with you as well on that, Mr. German. When it comes to his recruitment, one of the things that is very important to him is academics. And whenever you are battling Notre Dame, that is one of the things that you are battling them for. As Texas does go head to head with in Palo Alto, they do go head to head with Stanford for these top major recruits. We do go head to head for Notre Dame for these top major recruits that do in fact want the top education as well. as well as go on to play for a top football program, and those are going to be two of the major programs that we do in fact butt heads with whenever it does come down with recruits that do like football and are also looking to get a good education. USC also comes into the fact to play as well. USC does come into the fold as well, but USC tends to get our guys after they've already been on the 40. As they do have our old defensive coordinator, Coach Orlando, as their new defensive coordinator, as they are seeking to get many of our transfers in the transfer portal, i.e. Jake Smith just recently went in there without a doubt. So come on, man, Malik, you think we can land him though, man? C.J. Williams, I do believe whenever it does come down to the wide receivers, I do believe the wide receivers that we do get, I believe we are going to end up having 3. I did believe that would possibly be 4, but I believe the 3 that we do get, if we do in fact keep Winfield, our Armani Winfield, the 4-star wide receiver coming straight out of Louisville, just down the road from me, our Armani Winfield, I do believe in my heart of hearts that Evan Stewart will in fact recommit to the University of Texas. I do believe that Evan Stewart will in fact come back on to the 40, make it back into the fold. And the third, filling out the third and final spot for that wide receiver position, I see Brennan Thompson. I see the fact that Brennan Thompson sees that body type, sees that exact body style perform in Coach Sark's offense, sees that speed on the outside, sees it on the inside, making those big plays from that position. I do believe it has cooled off from Clemson. I do believe the Tigers aren't that big of a threat to the University of Texas as it did used to be, because I do believe he wants to run some track as well, and there is some talk about Clemson shutting down their track program and stuff like that. Oklahoma, they did back off some once their wide receiver room did fill up a little bit more, and then since they did have the decommitment from Hudson, who is now going to be obviously going to be in SMU, ponying up there at the SMU Mustangs. They are now going back to some of those targets, revisiting some of those targets, and some of those targets they are going to be gone. They are going to be moved on, and I believe that Brennan Thompson is one of those targets. Someone else that made his top list was going to be A&M. I don't see A&M being a big factor, being a big player for this. If Brennan Thompson was a 6'4", 325-pound defensive lineman, or was a 6'5" offensive pound, 325-pound offensive lineman, I believe that A&M would be in the running. Or if he was a running back, I believe that A&M would be a bigger factor. But coming from the wide receiver position, nah, I don't see Brennan Thompson sees himself in that Aggie offense, because if he does, maybe he wants to break it out as far as that position, be one of the few to make it from them. They have been putting out a few wide receivers into the league as far as major receivers, major recruits running in, running out, and making plays while in Aggie land, while in College Station. Doesn't happen very often. So if you're gonna ask me who our recruits for the wide receiver position are going to be, I see it being Brennan Thompson, the wide receiver recruit, the speedy wide receiver recruit, the fast inline recruit, top end speed, coming out of Spearman, Texas. I do see Brennan Thompson. I do see Evan Stewart, the other speedy of the 6A track athlete of the year. Evan Stewart, track athlete of the year in the great state of Texas. I believe he will come into the fold, come into the 40 as well. And if in fact our Armani Winfield does in fact hold on to his commitment, I do believe he will in fact now, because since he's been in fact committed for so long, since he's been into the fold for so long, why decommit now? You know what I mean? He committed during halftime of the national championship, so that's right around 6.5, 7 months ago, whatever it is now. You know what I mean? But without a doubt, I do believe that Armani Winfield will in fact stay. His commitment will in fact stay. Is Dewberry dead to Texas? It wasn't looking all that great for Texas and Dewberry. Dewberry was really leaning towards Ohio State, but I did look at Ohio State, and they're kind of sort of filling up there at that offensive tackle position. They're kind of sort of filling up for the offensive tackles. Dewberry is also leaning hard, trending hard towards the Aggies as well. Whenever also fighting towards offensive linemen, major offensive lineman recruits, the Aggies are always going to be in the mix for them without a doubt. So are we out on him? No. I believe that we are I believe we are in the midst of a stronger push, and we're about to find out if we're out on him. I believe once Dewberry signed with Eugene Quack, once he decided to go to Oregon, I do believe that we got on the horn, and then that we got on the phone with Cam Dewberry a little bit more, and to see exactly where that is. I don't think it's dead. I don't believe we lead at all. I believe Dewberry is looking towards the Aggies. I do believe Ohio State is in fact filling up for their offensive tackle bodies. So, all right, what do we got? Didn't Larry Turner's good mother visit? Yeah, man. LTG's mom did in fact visit with him. I believe LTG's mom does want him, in fact, to would like him to be a member here in this class of 2022. Look, if you're a parent, this kind of stuff has to be concerning for your child, right? It has to be a major concern for your kid come into this situation. These college coaches were making wrong promises, were doing the wrong things while recruiting these kids, having them on campus whenever they weren't to. What other negativity, immorals, non-morality would they potentially be teaching their kids, be around their kids? What other immoral environment would their kids be potentially be around? That's something, as a parent, I would most definitely come into play. So the fact that his mother, once mommy and daddy come to campus, once mama and papa bear come to campus, once they put on that hat, once they put that on that Stetson, and they lean back with the cowboy boots with their proud baby boy, that is a good moment. It's always a good moment once mama and papa bear are on board. And Speedy German, yeah, man, you're right. LTG, Larry Turner Good, the safety prospect, his mom did in fact come with as well. I didn't answer the question where about Denver Harris. Denver Harris, the 5-star quarterback coming out of North Shore, straight out of North Shore, Texas, down there in the Houston area. I believe the biggest block in the pathway for a signature from him is going to be Alabama. The Crimson Tide comes strong, man. And once that tide comes rolling in, once Saban starts to get talking to you, once you get a one-on-one with Saban, that does come hard to say no to. So Denver Harris, I do believe it is going to come down to the University of Texas and the Crimson Tide on this one. The Aggies are still in the play; they are still in the fold, but I don't believe that it's going to come down to him. When it does come out to Harris, I do believe there's a good shot that we do, in fact, lose out to Denver Harris to the Crimson Tide. All right, there is this honors program UT called Plan 2, which competes with any high level of undergraduate program. Not sure UT Athletics allows it, but very high admission standards. Okay. Billy Gamble will be happy with Stewart. I would as well. One of the things that I do like about Stewart is going to be his in and out of breaks, his cuts in and out of breaks, and his frame. He's not overly tall, 6 foot tall, right around 6 foot tall, 175, 180 pounds like that. But with that frame, he can leap out of the gym as he is a triple jumper without a doubt. And 50-50 balls, he makes plays. He is a Mr. Go-Get-It for his size as well. So in addition to the speed, in addition to his, the route running, in addition to his overall competitive as an athlete, man, his ability to make 50-50 balls is underscored, is definitely underrated as well. It's well publicized, but if you're adding it onto his list of elite skills, if you're adding it on to his list of elite skills, without a doubt, making plays on 50-50 balls is something that does get overlooked when it does come to Evan Stewart. Speedy German says, if Worthy excels this fall, do not Thompson, Coleman, and Evans notice favorably? Yeah, see, that's what it comes on to. When I said in all of these positions, whether it's defensive line, offensive line comes into play large, these skill position, these wide receivers, these defensive linemen, these linebackers, they all want to know what their position is going to look like and how it's going to perform and how the University of Texas is going to come together and is going to come together to create wins, or is it going to come together and be a big giant mess and create L's on the field. And that's what these recruits want to see. They want to see their position regardless if it's wide receiver, D-line, offensive lineman, linebacker, regardless. So if Worthy excels, yeah, man, Thompson, Coleman, and Evans will notice favorably, without a doubt, 100%, and that will make everything go a lot more smoothly. And then, without a doubt, once the running back position, once Bijan Robinson absolutely balls out of control this year, which we all know that he will. We all know he's going to be around 1,400 yards by my estimation. I don't want to see that the carries get up there all that much. I don't want to see him in the 250 range. I like to see him in the 210, 215, something like that, depending on how many ball games that we get quite contested in. I don't want to see him playing a lot of the ball games that are uncontested, the ball games that are not ball games in the fourth quarter. We'll love to see everybody else, Rojo and Keelan Robinson, carry the ball, get some touches in those regards. But without a doubt, once they see their position, once Jaden Ballou sees his position balling out on the field, Reuben Owens sees Bijan Robinson balling out on the field. Once those offensive linemen, once Dewberry, Banks, once Cameron Williams, all these other major primetime blockers, these big-time offensive linemen, sees the development from the offensive line from the first game to the last game get better. You know what I mean? Like whenever they see that cohesion gel of a unit, once they see the center making the calls, the guard communicating to him, the tackle communicating, and then once they're in the midst of play and once they're engaged, once they see that tackle down, sliding down and washing down the rest of washing down the rest of the defensive linemen, clearing a straight path for the quarterback to throw the ball. Once they see those big, giant, major holes being made into to play, once they see their position pancaking these defensive linemen, yeah, they're gonna get excited about it. They're gonna get excited about it 100%. But that's what it's gonna take to when it comes to landing some of these major recruits. Yeah. And Worthy, when it talks about him, remember how they were talking about Troy O'Meary last year, about him dominating? We might see some of that kind of sort of things when it talks about Worthy. Because whenever you're talking about the prototypical wide receiver in the Steve Sarkisian offense, you're going to be talking about a guy like Worthy. You're going to be talking about the guy who can come in and out of his breaks and is smooth and fast in transitions. And that's what Worthy is. That's exactly what Worthy is. He's exactly about the same body style, the same body size as D. Smith, who won the Heisman last year. He's 5'11", 165 pounds, somewhere right in that. The exact same size. I believe D. Smith was 6 foot tall, 170, something like that. So within an inch and within 5 pounds. So without a doubt, the same speed, the same inline speed. And I do see Sark bowing him in and out, using him in that. In that offensive line, and getting him, not offensive line, getting him into the fold early and often to use that speed and use that versatility. I don't think we're going to see a situation where we're just going to see the depth chart 1, 2, 3. I'm going to have my best Z receiver, my best X receiver, and my best slot guy. That's not what it's going to be. I believe the best skill guys are going to be on the field at all times for the University of Texas. This multi-subbing stuff is going to be the thing of the past. I do believe that we are going to see a dominant running back, a dominant receiving group, a dominant 3 to 4 guys that are going to come out. I do believe that we'll see some package play from Jatavion Sanders early, but there will be a dominant group coming out of the tight end. I do see Cade Brewer obviously getting a lot of run, and I see Jared Wiley coming on strong here late. Hopefully Jared Wiley, the 6'7" guy, a little bit more versatile, can stretch the field a little bit more better. Love to see him body up safeties and linebackers on his way through splitting those seams, man. Yep, and like what you're talking about, Peter DeGreat, Denver Harris, his family is going to be big on Texas as well. But I know it is 2:40 in the afternoon, man. I work at night, so this is kind of sort of some prime time stuff with me. I just got a couple of more things I got to take care of before I do, in fact, start my day. But I did just want to, in fact, go ahead and get this video out. I did very excited about Austin Jordan, as I didn't quite know if we would get this commitment, as he was a heavy lean towards the University of Oklahoma for quite some time. But if you are new to the program, please give me a thumbs up on this video, guys. Please give me a thumbs up on this stream, as it does help out in the overall algorithm that is YouTube. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe, as I do live streams. I do monologue videos, and I will go along with the highlight videos here in a couple of weeks or a couple of months ago. Man, Mr. Billy Gamble, you're welcome, man. I do this for the fans. I do this for y'all. I am going to have a lot more exciting stuff coming for you. I am going to start doing a morning show. I'm going to get that rolling here probably about 3 weeks to a month. I am going to do a morning show. I already have a name for it. I am probably going to do about 3 times a week probably. So I am going to do a morning show. Probably not going to be an early morning show, to be quite honest with you, but I am going to have a morning horning for you, without a doubt, coming down the pike for you guys as well. But very excited about having Austin Jordan. Very excited about having him into the fold. Something would love to continue tapping into that Denton Ryan pipeline. Hopefully that Austin Jordan can be in the ear of a certain 5-star linebacker slash edge rusher out there for Denton Ryan. So let's see this. Hopefully he can be in his ear the whole entire season, as they do have multiple players in the class of 2023 as well. You're welcome, Mr. Crunch. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do, and like this video as well, as I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Crunch. Horns up to you. You're welcome, sir. As we can definitely keep up that Austin pipeline, definitely keep that intact. Keep it going in North Shore as well. Hopefully pick up for Mr. Harris, as we do have a commitment from Chris Ross, the defensive lineman, the 4-star defensive lineman, who talking about Chris Ross, I was excited whenever we got his commitment first earlier on this year. But since I've been watching a little bit more of his film and reading a little bit more about him, I am getting a little more excited him talking about the 4-star defensive tackle coming out of the Houston area in North Shore. But yeah, man, I'm just going to go ahead and end this video. But if you have not, go ahead and like this video. I'd very much appreciate that. Would very much appreciate y'all subscribing to the channel. Tell everybody else to subscribe to the channel, man. Tell everybody to share it up and whatnot. Let everybody know about the content, about the channel. I'm excited about Mr. Jordan here committing to the good, getting on the 40 acres, and being one of the defensive backs in the great state of Texas for the class of 2022. With that being said, keep your head in a swivel and your eyes on Texas. Hook 'em up, guys.